Hi, everybody. I'm Curt Smith, the Deputy Director for the Middle Peninsula Planning District Commission. I was asked to kind of connect the dots with what is being done with regards to comprehensive planning at the local level on the Middle Peninsula and how that ties to the activities that we're doing at the PDC level. And essentially on the Middle Peninsula, I'd say about 7 or 8 years ago, there was a big uptick in the number of studies that were being done related to this area, some various planning work that was being done at the regional and state level. And there wasn't a lot of political or public will to tackle these issues at the local level. So the localities instead directed the PDC to essentially not let their folks drown on our watch. So they really prioritized doing something about the immediate needs and building tools to address tools and finding funding to address those immediate needs, as well as the long-term needs for managed retreat options for folks who are ready and can afford to get out of harm's way. So that's where the Middle Peninsula PDC has been for a number of years now. And in short, we prioritized building tools and funding at the regional level, and we've been very successful in that. We want to shift gears, well, not necessarily shift gears, but just bring the planning efforts more online as the political and public will grows at the local level. And our first step on the planning side is going to be through initiating conversations through RAFT, which is what we're doing right now. And so back to the tools that we've created. So about 10 years ago, the General Assembly authorized localities to establish revolving loan funds for living shorelines. The Middle Peninsula, a decade later, is still the only locality in the Commonwealth that has a functioning living shoreline revolving loan fund. We're capitalized at, I believe, around 2 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. We up it about every 6 months, another, couple $100,000 is as much money as Virginia Resource Authority gives us. As soon as we get it, we give it out. And it's a very effective tool to help your residents buy time. That's our overarching strategy. When I say we're not going to let folks drown on our watch, is we need to protect our rural coastal tax base to the greatest extent possible, where we're squeezing as much value out of these properties for as long as possible. And that's our overarching strategy. So the Living Shoreline Revolving Loan Fund is a key tool for that. We also have a septic system repair revolving loan fund that helps in that area too. For long-term adaptation, we have a sister agency. It's actually a subdivision of the Commonwealth. And that is the Middle Peninsula Public Access Authority. When that was created about 13 or 14 years ago, it was really to enhance public access, which is very limited in the Middle Peninsula, but it's really evolved into, in my opinion, probably the best tool, the best entity in the Commonwealth for long-term adaptation implementation. And essentially what we're seeing is there's a lot of more affluent property owners that are in harm's way. They're tired of living with the water day in, day out, and they want out. And so they are donating their properties to the Public Access Authority. We've had these come in regularly, and we've been donated several $1 million worth of waterfront property. And our goal to protect the tax base as those people move away from the most valuable area in rural coastal areas is to open them up and try to offset that change in land use, because it is no longer taxable property as it comes into the PAA holdings, but we open it up for for public use, low impact recreation, economic development opportunities in certain areas to try to offset the loss of that tax revenue for the localities by just enhancing in other ways. So that's an important long range tool, and all of these we have combined them, umbrellaed them under our Fight the Flood program that we've launched for the Middle Peninsula, and that's the first comprehensive coastal resilience program for doing something about the issue, not just talking about it and planning, but we've built a tool that is built to engage property owners at every level, every walk of life, for free in the Middle Peninsula through the Fight the Flood program, and give them access to the loan funds and the grant funds that are now becoming more increasingly available for addressing all of these issues. And so the way the Fight the Flood program works, very briefly, is that anybody interested in participating that has a problem with flooding, whether it be in their yard, whether it be along a shoreline, whether it be damages to a property, navigability, they complete an intake form, essentially reporting their needs to us. We process that on the back end. We work with vetted businesses that are going to provide quality service for addressing all of these needs, and essentially conceptualize projects to address these issues. Residents have the option to report that they need financial assistance. In that case, we'll fit them either into our loan programs or the grants that are eligible for people, for private property owners. And so, being that the makeup of the Middle Peninsula is 99% of our vulnerable area is privately owned, that's where our focus has been, on providing tools, providing resources to folks in those areas. And in brief, that's what we've done. I'm happy to answer any questions about that.